What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Raggatek, and we're returning. Actually, we're not returning. We're going to listen to, for the first time, a 3-time LP by Guigoo, a French artist that I got very recently, and I wanted to give a big shout out to Michaela. She not only supports me on Patreon, but she sent me a few donations outside of that. I put in my video descriptions all the time that here's a link to my Patreon, but if you want to make a one-off donation, you can do it to my PayPal address. And when she sent me such a donation, it was right when I was looking to see if there was any more chance of getting this triple album, Catch Me If You Can, which I think is from 2017. Because on Discogs over the years, there's never been that many copies available. And then a couple years ago I looked and there was only like a couple copies, both of which were used, and they were going for elevated prices. So I said, I'm still going to wait, see if I can't find a mint copy. And then I noticed a couple months ago that there was no copies available, or there were no copies available on Discogs. And so I thought, I really got to search online, check some other websites, see if there's any way I can get this before it becomes an insanely overpriced collector's item. Because I'm a fan of Guigoo's work. I don't have that many records. I have one on the Raggatek label, and then I have a couple tracks of his on Vandal's Chaotic Sound System label, all of which I like. And so, of course, I was curious about a triple record album. And yes, I found this French website which specializes in hard tech and other related forms of like continental style rave music, including Raggatek. And yes, they had a mint copy, which was available for sort of the standard price, and I was able to procure a copy in large part with the donation that Michaela sent, plus a little bit extra, which had come from my Patreon. So shout out to the folks on Patreon. You also contributed in a way to getting this. Wanted to give a big shout out to Guigoo, of course. There he is in the middle of a crazy looking party. He does have a bit of a dedication on the record. Thank you for choosing this album. I am sure you will enjoy mixing it as much as I enjoyed producing it. And he talks about people who helped him and believed in him for all these years, his musician friends and everyone around him for their support. A big thanks to Matt Weasel, without whom Babylon Boy's kick bass would not be what it is. I like that. But he said he produced an album that is mainly about reggae raga while remaining eclectic, making you travel around the world of rave, including hardtech, tribe, raga, jungle, drum and bass, and Frenchcore, or like mainstream hardcore. And he finishes it by saying rave on. So shout out to you, Mr. Guigoo. We're going to listen to a tune called Baddest Thing, which is one of, I think, 3 tracks using vocal samples from Million Stylez. There's a couple that feature Bob Marley. There's some more Beanie Man, Life for Land dub, Buccaneer, Alborosie, Richie Spice, and Baby Chan. So he samples a number of different reggae artists, but this one is a sample from Million Stylez, and that's with a Z. And there's 3 records. One is green, one is yellow, one is red. Of course, you know, it fits with the raga and the reggae vibes and the, you know, Jamaican vibes. But they're each sort of specialized to a different style, which is to say the green vinyl tracks are more like roots and like classic reggae sampled tracks. The yellow vinyl, I'm trying to remember, does it say it here? I think it was on the website that I bought it where they had this description, but they were saying the yellow vinyl is sort of like raga and it's like also dub, and then the red vinyl takes some raga samples, but it's more in like a Frenchcore or like more mixed with hardcore styling. So yeah, we're going to listen to one from the yellow vinyl, and as I said, it's called Baddest Thing, and it samples Million Stylez. So let's give it a listen. Once more, big shout out to all folks who like Raggatek. Big shout out to Michaela for helping enable this purchase, and big shout out to Guigoo for all these productions. So here we go. This is Baddest Thing by Guigoo on his Catch Me If You Can album, which I think is 2017 on Raggatek Power, a French label. Tune. Absolute tune. Now, I've sort of scanned through all the tracks since getting this, but I don't know them even as well as I know the two Vandal records that I got at the end of last year. So, yeah, this is all very fresh to me. All of them sound good. They do have some different vibes, and again, I'll have to go look on that French website from which I bought this release because they had a breakdown of the description of, like, you know, the green record is sort of focused on these stylings, the yellow one on these stylings, and the red one on these stylings. I do remember the red one specifically saying that that's the record that has the most, like, Frenchcore, like, hardcore sonics incorporated with the Raggatek. But either way, I do like the pace of this one. It's got this deep thump. It's not a particularly, like, smashing kick drum, but it still has a very deep sound to it, and I like the overall percussion scheme a great deal. I like those sections where when it gets to the new measure, the vocal kind of kicks into a different gear. There's a couple moments in the track where it does that, I think, very well. And yeah, I'm not familiar with Million Stylez' work. Again, sometimes the reggae artist sampled is one that I'm familiar with, you know, especially Bob. I've listened to a lot of Bob and the Wailers over the years, and I'm looking forward to reacting to the couple tunes on here that do sample Bob. But yeah, ultimately, I enjoy learning about original reggae through some of these Raggatek tracks, and it's nice to be able to go back and like, oh, okay, so this is the track that is sampled from. And to be fair, some of the early hardcore and artcore I listen to, it's the same thing, as well as some acid dub, meaning acid techno reggae, most notably from Joss Scupa, from some other artists as well, and they sample a lot of classic reggae works. So yeah, it's like this reggae universe, which of course, you know, features the original genre and all of its subgenres as the starting point, but it has proliferated in all these different genres of rave music, and Raggatek being, I suppose, the most directly focused one, although again, acid dub, meaning acid dub techno, is very much in that same vein. So yeah, I'm looking forward to going through this entire triple record album, including in these reactions, but also in a acid, or a, well, yes, acid, but a Raggatek mix that I'm going to make pretty soon. So I'm just thinking about the order and, you know, some of the tracks that I want to start or end the mix with. So bottom line, that will come pretty soon. Once again, thank you to Michaela and to the people on Patreon who, again, were also part of this purchase at a crucial time when suddenly it disappeared from Discogs, because, you know, the majority of the records I get in the, you know, techno, trance, hardcore genres, they do come from Discogs, and then in some cases, whether it's the Stay of Forever site or in this case a French like hard techno Raggatek site, I will find records elsewhere. But yes, it just, right when I worried that I might never be able to get a copy of this, I found one online and I was able to use donations that people had sent. So yeah, big shout out to all of you. Let me know what you think of this tune. I will see you next time. Peace.